Thomas, first reactions after another national championship for West Virginia. One of the things I was talking with one of your teammates about, you don't get to necessarily celebrate. There's not a clock winding down or anything like that. So is that just because of the way the sport is, and how do you celebrate it?
Some of it is it's a little different from a lot of other sports, especially with having multiple relays. We really don't know the final score until everyone is finished shooting. So that makes it a little bit unique. But for me at least, it seems like now, kind of after everything's been totaled up, now is kind of the celebration time, really.
Last night, after you'd taken a pretty substantial lead in small bore, what do you go to bed thinking? Are you worried about, wow, we've got this really big lead? Would you rather be close a little bit, or was it nice having that cushion?
But it's always nice having a cushion, but it's not something you really want to think about. It's 2 different days. Each day, there's really no impact on each day, and so something when we kind of agreed last night, it's best to put that behind us. That was yesterday. Today's a new day. Go into it treating it as if this was just an air rifle match, and this was its own unique thing.
When you are out shooting, you obviously know what your scores are, but coming down to those last few shots, do you know, yes, we've got the team in the bag, or where you are in the air rifle competition?
I actually had no idea at all. I know what I'm shooting, but I didn't know what the first 3 team members had shot. I had no idea what Jiva was shooting, and I have no idea what anyone else on any relay is shooting. So I can only know what I'm doing, and when I came off, that's whenever I found out.
Do you purposely not watch the other relays, just to kind of keep your focus on yourself?
Somewhat. It's not, for me personally, it's not something I go out of my way to avoid. It's but it's definitely not something. I don't look at other scores. I don't do anything that might make me, put me to where I might think about that. But if I do find out scores, especially if you're shooting on a later relay, you hear people from maybe other teams talking about, oh, so-and-so shot this, so-and-so shot that. And it's important not to let that affect you, really.
It seems like everyone I've talked to on the team so far just really echoes and takes the lessons from Coach Hammond about keeping your focus one shot at a time. I know those are cliches, but how much does that help you, and how much does that contribute to national titles? It's
a huge contributor. Especially obviously if everyone on the team is saying it, it's something that seems to work fairly well for us. But no, it's a big part of the sport, is really being able to put behind you maybe a bad problem, but also even unusually good performances too. It's not something you can think about whenever you're shooting. If you've just come off of a really good streak or a really bad streak, it's something you just put behind you, and you really need to just focus on what you're doing at that moment.
We've got good things to look back on now. How long do you enjoy it before you get back to the grind until you have another competition?
That's a good question. I think it'll kind of depend upon be a little bit different for each of us. Some of the team members, they're going to be going to some other international matches here soon, so it's kind of starting that season for them. The rest of us are going to be training for some of our matches over the summer, so it's not something you definitely want to celebrate and be happy, but it's not something that you hold on to for a long time.